Free AI tools are literally everywhere these days. I mean, they're on our phones, they're baked right into our browsers, and quietly running our daily apps. It's never been easier to access some seriously incredible artificial intelligence without spending a single dime, which naturally begs the obvious question, is it actually worth paying for AI anymore?
You know, most of us start out with the free stuff, but pretty quickly we start wondering if opening our wallets actually makes a tangible difference. So today, in this explainer, we're breaking down the 2026 AI landscape. We're going to look at the actual capabilities, the invisible ceilings you'll inevitably hit, and the real-world value of free versus paid tiers. No hype here, just the facts.
Here's the roadmap for how we're going to break this all down. 1. The baseline of free AI. 2. Unlocking power with paid tiers. 3. Performance and feature gaps. 4. Limits and restrictions. And finally, number 5, cost versus real value.
All right, let's dive into part 1, the baseline. Free AI. Let's look at what you actually get for free. Let's get a reality check on today's free tiers. Look, these aren't just stripped-down trials. They're genuinely legitimate tools for everyday tasks. Take ChatGPT Free, for example. It gives you their flagship GPT 5.2 model. But, and this is a big but, it caps you at just 10 messages every 5 hours. Over on Gemini Free, you're limited to 100 megabyte file uploads and 5-minute videos. So the access is definitely real, but man, that friction builds up quickly.
And here's the biggest hidden catch: rate limiting. Often you don't even realize it's happening to you. Once you hit your capacity on a free tier, the system doesn't necessarily throw an error or stop working. Instead, it quietly downgrades your queries to older, less capable models behind the scenes. So you end up experiencing this unpredictable drop in reasoning and quality right when you might need it the most. Pretty frustrating, right?
Moving right along to part 2, unlocking power. Let's talk about the paid tiers. $20. Right now, across the board, this is the industry standard price tag per month. Whether you're looking at ChatGPT Plus, Gemini Advanced, Claude Pro, or Copilot Pro, they all sit right at this exact same $20 price point.
So what does dropping that $20 a month actually buy you? Well, you move from just basic access and instant answers to advanced reasoning. The paid tiers unlock highly capable models, things like GPT-5 Thinking and o1 Pro. These models literally dedicate massive computational power to think through complex, multi-step problems before they even type out a single word. Plus, you unlock deep research agents that can crawl the web to produce fully structured citation-backed reports. It's a whole different ballgame.
Paying up also unlocks entirely new multimodal tools and ecosystems. For instance, ChatGPT Plus adds the Sora video model and custom GPTs to your toolkit. Gemini Advanced unlocks VO 3.1 for video and integrates really seamlessly into Google Workspace. If you go with Claude Pro, you get Claude Code for your terminal workflows, and Copilot Pro bakes AI right into Microsoft 365. You know, you aren't just buying a smarter chatbot here, you're essentially buying a complete suite of professional workflows.
Let's jump to part 3, performance and feature gaps. Let's look at the actual day-to-day differences.
The absolutely crucial metric here is your return on investment. The Stanford HAI 2026 report measured a 26% productivity gain in software development and a massive 50% gain in marketing output when deploying these advanced models. To put that into perspective, those are tangible real-world returns. When you apply them to daily professional tasks, these tools deliver massive, undeniable time savings. And really, this highlights the consistency gap. The free and paid tiers might actually both start you on the exact same base model. But the paid tier, it maintains that high quality consistently. You avoid those forced, quiet downgrades we talked about earlier. You get dedicated data analysis, complex coding capabilities, and priority access during peak hours. Your outputs don't just suddenly degrade because it's, say, 2 p.m. on a really busy Tuesday. Which brings us to part 4, limits and restrictions. Because yes, even paid users face caps. Now, paying does not mean infinite. Take context windows, for example. Think of this as the AI's short-term memory, or the size of its disk space that dictates how much data it can process all at once. Gemini Advanced leads the pack here with a massive 1 million token window. That's enough to read entire codebases or massive books in seconds. Claude Pro sits at 200,000, and ChatGPT Plus is at 128,000. If you regularly process large documents, this invisible ceiling alone is probably going to dictate which subscription you ultimately choose. Even heavy power users still have to manage their workflows pretty carefully. ChatGPT Plus caps you at 160 messages every 3 hours. Claude Pro has strict weekly limits that, honestly, users are hitting faster than ever. And Gemini Advanced enforces its own daily and weekly caps. So even at $20 a month, you can still hit a hard stop if you push the system too hard.
Finally, Part 5. Cost versus real value. Does it actually justify the hit to your wallet?
The core trade-off essentially looks like this. You're gaining advanced tools, deep memory and speed, sure, but you might be paying for power you rarely even touch. Think about it. If you're just a casual user sitting on a $20 plan, you are basically subsidizing the heavy computational costs of the daily professional power users.
So, where exactly do you fit into all of this? Well, if you're a casual user or a student, just stay on the free tier at $0. It is incredibly capable for everyday things. Need regular assistance but maybe without the full pro tools? Mid-tier plans like ChatGPT Go run around $8 to $12. Freelancers and daily professionals definitely hit the sweet spot at the $20 tiers. And lead developers or heavy enterprise users, you guys are looking at the $200 plus tiers just to avoid those caps entirely.
Okay, let's take a second to dispel two major myths here. Myth number 1, free AI is totally useless. Absolutely false. The free tier is incredibly powerful, as long as you respect the usage caps. And myth number 2, paid AI is always necessary. Also totally false. Paid AI is strictly a productivity tool. Seriously, if you aren't using it to save time, create efficiencies, or generate revenue, you simply don't need it.
Ultimately, making the decision really just comes down to this one question. Do your daily workflow friction points cost you more than $20 a month? If you lose an hour of billable time wrestling with rate limits, well, the upgrade pays for itself immediately. If not, the free tier is perfectly fine. The choice, as always, is entirely yours.